If it's a nice day and you are on a nice stretch of tarmac, there is no set of wheels which is better than two with adequate power and mounted on a chassis which is ready to twist and turn along with the many curves on the road. A perfect companion for an enjoyable ride, and this is exactly what I had in the form of the recently launched Kawasaki ZX 10R, one of the fastest liter bikes on the Indian road today. In the late 90s, when Kawasaki brought in the Ninja series, they gave a whole new meaning to the word superbiking. The bikes were fast and furious, extremely agile through the corners, and the styling was fresh. In fact, the Ninja remained one of the fastest bikes on planet Earth for a very, very long time. Recently, Kawasaki Bajaj launched the big Ninjas into India, and what I have with me today is the somewhat smaller cousin of the big 14R, the ZX 10R, and she comes draped in the Kawasaki greens. Today in the Indian market, we have an array of superbikes lined up, including the big brother Kawasaki ZX 14R. But the smaller and lower price ZX 10R can do most of the things that the big ones can, and at times what the big brother can't so easily, which is to change directions quickly and without much fuss. The lighter chassis makes this possible and easy, much to a rider's delight. And on a hilly road like this, it allowed me to hug the road tightly through the corners. And on an open stretch, open up the engine to blast past the ref counter redlining at over 14,000 RPM. And to make things a little more lively, the exhaust shrieked like a banshee every time I opened up the throttle, which is so typical of a Japanese superbike. As I said, I have the much smaller cousin of the 14R, the ZX 10R with me. But make no mistake, she really isn't that small or that slow. The 1-liter engine here belts out 200 PS, and the engine is mounted on a much lighter chassis. The bike weighs much less, and this is what makes her extremely nimble through the corners. In terms of ergonomics, the ZX 10R is spot on, with a low-position rider seat, clip-on handles which are easy to grab, and the stylish mirrors positioned just right. There is a rear seat on offer, but I feel it will require extreme courage and enormous skill to hang on when the bike is in full flow. The full fairing also helps in aerodynamics and also shields the driver for some of the heat coming out of the engine. The graphics on the fairings give it an easily identifiable Ninja look, and the Kawasaki green helps too. The short exhaust, which sounds fabulous, is short and lightweight, and it goes well with the design of the bike. The ZX 10R is lightweight and easy to handle through city traffic or even while parked. Really great fun to ride this bike. At the twist of the throttle, power comes surging in through the entire rev band like a tidal wave. And long before you have hit the 14,500 red line, you would have crossed any legal speed limit. The throttle response is fast and furious, and even before you are aware, you have crossed into the insane speed territory. Okay, she might not match up to the top speeds of the bigger superbikes when they eventually get there, but in terms of acceleration, it stacks up with the big boys. And what makes it possible is the lighter body weight and an extremely energetic engine, which spits out 1 bhp after another without hesitation. The engine is mated to a 6-speed gearbox with 1 down 5 up gear shift pattern, which makes it easy to shift the gears. There are 3 things I like in a bike. Number 1, she has to look great. Number 2, she must corner well. And number 3, when I turn the throttle on, power must come in a frenzy. And I tell you after a long ride that this ZX 10R does all these 3 very, very well. She looks great, she's very rideable with power coming through the rev band, and the nimble chassis makes it a pleasure to drive even in city traffic. And if you're not really stuck on buying a big and heavy superbike, I think you will do very well to take a long, hard look at this one. The ZX10R, like most bikes in this class, is brought into the country as what is called a fully built-up unit or a CBU, and consequently taxed at over 100% of the import price, which makes it expensive. It's priced at around rupees 15 lakhs, and that's not the kind of money every motorcycle enthusiast might have. And that's a pity, as this ZX10R would have easily endeared itself to many a riding fanatic with its easy riding dynamics.